everyone, James Haglin here. I'm with Eddie Quintero. I said it right. Um,
Yeah, I
hey
think
Eddie,
so.
how you doing today?
How you doing, man? Nice to see you. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think last time we saw each other was like around before Christmas time. You surprised
It,
me at the store that
it
day.
was a sport, correct? Exactly.
Yeah.
You haven't changed.
Yeah.
You haven't changed. It's the same guy.
You haven't changed either.
Yeah. Haven't gotten. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to let everybody know, so what city do you currently live in right now? What area are you in?
So I lived in Bothell, by
Okay.
Bothell. Yeah. Yeah.
How's
Yeah.
Bothell doing right now? I know it's
Well,
been
it's been
growing,
great.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Very convenient location.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you can take I-5 or you can take 405. So yeah, Bothell is cool.
Right.
I like it. Yeah.
How's the growth going out there? I know they're expanding a little bit too, aren't
Oh,
they?
it's like everywhere. Oh, amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you have constructions everywhere, and just like Seattle. I mean, you don't go there for about a month, and then you go back, and then you see a new street,
Right.
a
Right.
new corner, a new avenue. It's like, wow, what
And
happened?
a store's gone, a new store's there, new,
Oh yeah,
you're like,
oh
oh,
yeah,
I didn't know there was that there. So what,
oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, talk about Bothell, like where are some places you like that, like, do you enjoy like to go to eat food and stuff like that?
Yeah, so Bothell is a very unique community. It's got a lot of restaurants. It's very
Hmm.
pleasant, very, just very mellow.
Hmm.
We just went to a restaurant. I forgot the name, but it was kind of Indian.
Hmm.
It was very, very unique in the sense that it was kind of mixture,
Hmm.
a little bit of Chinese, very eclectic, I guess. That's a
Okay.
good definition for that restaurant. But I'll let you know about that one.
Yeah.
That's the name. But
Yeah, I can get that from you later and put it in the description so people can go, "Oh, okay, I know that
yeah,
restaurant
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever."
yeah.
Any other? What's your favorite place that you've been to so far?
So far, man, they're so different, because Europe is very unique in its own. I mean, but I would, let's see. I would say probably I'm gonna tell you three of
Hmm.
my most favorite countries. Number
Hmm.
one, Italy.
Okay.
Number two, Cambodia.
Okay.
And number three, Brazil.
Nice.
Yeah,
Now, just to let people know, where are you originally from?
I'm from Venezuela.
Venezuela.
From
Okay.
Caracas, yeah,
Right.
Caracas. Yeah, so I came to United States in 1981.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So I was a musician for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Recorded 7 albums. Was with a very popular band, very
Hmm.
successful band at the time for 10 years straight. That's what I did.
Oh, wow.
1987, James, in 1987, man, we did. The name of the band was called Bochinche, which means the noise of a party. But
Okay.
in 1987, we did 432 shows in one year.
Wow. Wow.
432 shows in one year. So we
Now
played at
you
schools.
do the math. There's only
Yeah,
how
well,
many
yeah,
days in a year,
yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right.
Wow.
So yeah, we were playing twice, 3 times a day, 4 times. So we played also in the school district. We had a
Hmm.
band. That band we actually went all over the state.
Right.
Of course, we played nightclubs.
Hmm.
Because the band was very kind of, it was Latin, but we could play also Latin jazz, and so we were flexible as far
Hmm.
as
Nice.
playing, and yeah, so that's what we did
So
for 10
then you went from musician
years.
to real estate?
1991, that's when I got my license, and I've been
Hmm.
practicing since 1991. Man, that's like about 40 years or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, man. The time just went like that fast,
Right.
super quick. Yeah,
So
yeah,
what made you go from music to real estate? What was how did that transition happen? Like what, you
yeah.
just woke up one day and go, I'm gonna get into real estate? Like what was how did that play out?
Well, eh, I mean, the easy answer probably would say money. It's
Yeah,
money. Oh
right.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But also other aspects, of course. Music. I mean, as you can imagine, James, is crazy. I mean, it's a crazy
Hmm.
world. You
Right.
depend on people. You depend at that time. You depend on nightclubs owners
Hmm.
and equipment, and it was just. And then not only that, you have to play. Playing during the day, and also finish at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Right. Right.
So it's like, oh, man. So when you get older, you know, probably you want to change. And then I started with timeshare. I started selling timeshare in
Oh,
Florida.
okay.
That's not
Okay.
right. Yeah, you know, starting to make. And then I got my license, and that's when you get commissions.
Right. Right.
And then I switched to residential.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's been, you know, great. Yeah.
Right. So, what's the highlight? Like, so, like with music, you're playing and you're watching people enjoy the music, and do you get kind of that same feeling still with the real estate side of it? Like helping people buy a home is
Yeah, they're rewarding.
rewarding
Oh my God,
too.
it's huge. It's huge. Oh my
Right.
God, because when you've seen some people that actually would not be able to buy a house, they couldn't see themselves owning a home.
Hmm.
And then, man, being able to give them the key.
Hmm.
Because see, many clients, I mean, they don't believe it
Right.
until the day of closing. You know, it's like,
Right. Right.
they give the earnest money and they're very cautious, especially foreigners, especially somebody who didn't grow up here.
Right. Right.
You cannot doubt, because see, in a place like Venezuela, for example, it's not really
Right.
that easy to become a homeowner.
Hmm.
So that's one thing here that this society makes you kind of humble, especially
Right.
if you live if you come from a different country, different
Right.
culture.
Yeah.
And you feel this is a great opportunity, but actually here is the key of your house.
Hmm.
And even at that time they get the key and it's like, really?
Yeah. They're still hesitant.
Uh,
Like
it
it's
gets
almost
real
like
when
they
they pay
stole
the first
something.
mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they pay the first mortgage, then that's when it becomes real.
Right, right. They're like, oh, my
Nobody's
first mortgage
absolutely,
payment. Yeah.
yeah,
This
yeah,
really is mine. My name's on it, the address. I have a
yeah.
payment.
But when it's really cool when they call you back 3-4 years later, because I
Hmm.
see. So we now I practice with my wife. So we both do follow up, right? We send them,
Hmm.
you know, but then they call you 3 years later. Hey, I want to sell the house now. It's like,
Right,
man, cool.
right. Yeah.
All right,
So what books do you recommend to people to read, or do you have a book, or, anything like that, or anybody to
price book.
follow? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
used to read more than now. I don't know why.
hmm.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
getting impatient now. I don't know, but the one book that in my opinion, is not only for real estate but also for life in general,
Hmm.
is the Four Agreements. Actually,
Okay.
now it's a Five Agreements.
Hmm.
So the author it's a gentleman by the name of Don Miguel Ruiz.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you read it?
No, I have not. I will
The,
take a look at it
okay.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Four Agreements came out first,
Hmm.
and then the Five Agreements came out later. But I think it gives you it's a very, very important tool, not only for sales or real estate
Hmm.
but for life in general.
Hmm.
you know and it gives you a great tool to for yourself to live life
Right.
happily and balance and health.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, it's
yeah.
just like because you can always you get sidetracked, or you just get focused on something and you're just constantly working on one thing. But if you spread yourself out, right, it's a little bit easier in life too, right? So family and work, right? There's got to be a balance, right?
Oh, it's, yeah,
You
plus you need
know.
more, and you need life is, yeah, it's a lot more, it's way more complex
Right.
than you. Yeah.
Right. That's probably like you traveling and stuff. People are like, well, I wish I
Yes.
could do that. It's like, well, you can do that. It's just you need a plan, right? You can't just, I wish I could just buy a ticket and go somewhere, right?
Yeah,
But
you set a plan.
yeah,
You also make a priority. What is a
right,
priority for your life in general? What you want to
right,
do in life, and yeah. Oh my God, traveling is amazing, James. You get to
right.
see.
Oh, I hear you. So what else do you like to like? What as far as outside of real estate, what do you like to do for fun? Like, I mean, we talk about going, to eat. What do you like to do for fun in the area?
In here,
Yeah, yeah.
look. So the fun that prepare myself for another spectacular trip.
Right.
Oh my God. I mean, come on, man. We live in the Northwest, James. I mean, you get up in the morning, I mean, it's raining,
Yeah.
one rain all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. like
So yeah,
yay.
so we're kind of limited here
Yeah,
right now in the winter, but obviously in
yeah,
the summer is a beauty. In this area is wonderful. But
right.
no, what I love to do, I love taking photos. I love
Mm-hmm.
photography,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife and I, we love adventures, going out to places, unique locations, and
Right,
discover new things. Or uh,
right.
even in the city. I mean, sometimes we go to downtown Seattle, like, we take the bus from
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo. We pretend
Right.
that we're in a different city and taking photos and discover new locations. And I bet you
Like,
anything. For example, you haven't been at the Seattle Underground tour.
oh wait, say that again. So I haven't been to the Seattle Underground tour.
Have you ever been in the
I
Seattle
have,
Underground
and
tour?
I've seen the toilet there too.
Nice, nice, exactly. See,
But
so that's what. Yeah,
when
that's
I
one of
went
the
there,
things marketing here.
when I went there, I went with my aunt, and I was like, I think 10 years old,
Oh,
right?
that. Oh, really? That was
Yeah,
only
so
this
I've
week.
yeah, it's the underground tour has been there for a long time. But like, so
Yes,
basically you're a local tourist, basically. You like to go check out
dude.
things that you never been before,
Yes,
right?
dude. I'm
Like,
a tourist. No matter, I'm a tourist every time that I go to apply. Look at the
yeah.
city like a
Hmm.
for the first time ever. Yeah.
It's
So
like,
yeah,
the Fremont Troll, the
yeah. There
gum
you go.
wall, you
Arboretum,
know, huh?
the
What's that?
arboretum, the
Yes.
arboretum, the Japanese
Yes.
garden. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's places like even locals haven't really gone to or they haven't been there in years.
Exactly.
It,
Exactly.
so it's like Pike Place Market changes too, but it's
Yes. 100%. 100%. Exactly.
but
For the
yeah,
good or for the bad, but it changes.
right, right. As
Yeah.
far as like influences in your life, like who influenced you growing up or now?
Wow. So many, so many, so many amazing individuals in there. But I remember when I was a kid, I
Mm-hmm.
remember, so my uncle used to be a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't make it professionally, but he was an amateur boxer.
Mm-hmm.
So we all grew up with boxing in the house. My grandmother, everybody loved boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it as a violent
Right.
sport. It was more like a sport, which is you beat
Yeah.
each other up with the gloves and protected, and there is rules and
Right.
stuff. So, and you practice and you get better. But I remember my idol when I was growing up, it was Cassius Clay.
Oh,
Cassius
Muhammad
Clay,
Ali. Yeah.
exactly, the greatest,
Mm-hmm.
man. I mean,
Yeah.
oh my God, I was like, he was my hero.
Right.
And then I even like him more, even when I'm sorry, that's my ring, that's the
It's
technology,
okay.
right? Yeah, somebody walking in the street, who knows?
Uh-huh.
But I remember I really like him more. Not only he was an amazing athlete, but he spoke his mind.
Right.
He was very
Right.
controversial, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then came up the thing later on after his career, came up with the Vietnam. He didn't want to go to Vietnam because of religion reasons.
Right. Right.
uh, so man, I thought that was, man, what a cool dude. He
Yeah.
stands for his principle. And I mean, again, growing to in Venezuela, that didn't happen there. But
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the things that, so for some reason, it got in my mind.
Right.
Man,
Right.
Campus Clay, he believe in something, and he not only he's an athlete, but he's just a symbol. uh, I don't know, I think he was an amazing guy. So I
Yeah, I
really
think
like
what
that.
a lot of people like about him is, or when, was when he talked, he backed it up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he said something, he meant it, and nobody was going to change his mind, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think that's Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, he did a lot of stuff like that to influence people, like, yeah, not going to Vietnam, losing his title,
Yeah,
coming
that's
back
right.
in and doing it
That's a
all over
principle. He
again,
came back.
right,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
I followed him back
He
in the
was
day when
funny,
I was
man.
a kid. Yes.
He was super funny. I remember the
Yeah.
fight with Joe Frazier in Manila.
Hmm.
So he
Yeah.
grabbed a little doll, and he's like, "I'm the Manila, and you're the
Yeah.
gorilla Manila." Crazy guy, man.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
No,
And
very
he
cool.
So as far as, and then I could jump back into the real estate side of it, what do you
Yes.
suggest to people about real estate? Like, with the market now here in 2023, things have changed. Like, what do you see going on, and what do you recommend to people out there that are either wanting to buy or sell their home?
Yeah. So when is the best time to sell your home? So there is, and also buy a home. So I think the market is the one that always tells you how to behave.
Hmm.
When is the best time? I would say is the best time for an individual for personal reasons, financial reasons, but it's more like a personal reason. Now,
Hmm.
sometimes, for example, right now, as you know, interest rates are a little bit higher than say last year.
Right.
Um, some people may, say they actually went down last week, right?
Yeah,
A
they've
little
they've
bit.
they've adjusted a little bit for the
Yeah,
better, but
exactly.
they're still higher than what people are used to. People are used
Exactly.
to people are used to 2.5, 3% interest rates, right?
Yeah, and there is
And
not enough
so,
profit there for investors. That's what people need to understand. Plus, also, there is
right.
one thing too that there is never going to be a perfect time to buy or to sell.
Hmm.
The perfect time to buy or to sell is when you personally are ready to do so,
Right. Right.
either buy or sell. Right now, the difference is that you're not paying higher prices because you're paying you're not paying higher prices because you're paying higher interest.
Hmm.
Sometimes you pay lower interest, but then you pay high prices.
Right. Right.
Okay. So, I mean, I know we want everything
Everybody
whenever we
wants
want
that
to.
perfect balance. They want they want the fruit with the toppings and the
Yeah,
whipped cream and
exactly.
all that. It's
Yeah.
we're looking at a balance, right? We're trying to
Yeah,
find that
exactly.
balance.
And that's
Um,
exactly how I see this market, more
yeah.
balance. So you
And
see
I
properties
go
more,
ahead.
yeah, I was going to say, you see properties longer in the market.
You're right. They're not going quick like before where they were you put a listing on and have like 30 offers with escalation clauses.
100,
That's kind of
200,
gone away.
300,000. Exactly. I saw a home
Right.
that is almost 100. Well, was almost a million. So we put it up for 1.3 million,
Hmm.
1.3, ended up at 2
Oh
million
wow.
dollars. So
Wow.
it's like a man. This is not okay. So
Right.
it was a very unhealthy market. I see
Hmm.
this market more healthy.
Right.
You actually can, buyers can actually shop. They can
Right.
see other properties and they can negotiate and
There's no more waiving appraisals or inspection
No,
or
no, that's great. Exactly. So right now I
right.
think it's more, I don't know, I like this market better.
Yeah.
But
Well, I was, I tell people it doesn't matter what market you're in, there's still a market, right? Even in the
yeah,
crash of 2008, the dot com, the after 9/11, there's always a market for somebody, right? And that means there's always business. There's business at any time, right?
yes,
So I just kind of like people are like, well, I'm gonna wait for something to crash or whatever. I'm like, well, then now you're still waiting for that perfect time.
yeah.
And
And it
I
doesn't
just
exist.
never perfect.
It
It's
doesn't
like,
exist. It's like when you're driving and you see down the street and you see all the lights are red. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna go anywhere. Well,
yeah,
as
right.
soon as you start driving, they start changing. But you have
Right,
to
right.
start driving. You
Right.
have to
You got
go.
to get to that point to make the light turn green, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Eventually you'll
exactly.
get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Good.
No,
That's a good
life is a
analogy.
journey, brother.
I
Life is
like
a
that
journey. And you have
analogy.
to, yeah. So life is the journey of life. I mean, you have to make it happen. You have to move things. You have to make decisions. The worst could happen if you can also refinance.
You're right. Right.
So if you buy something at 6% right now, a house for 6% interest, you can also refinance later.
Right.
It's a big
Right.
deal.
When that opportunity comes, you take
Right.
advantage of it, right? So
Exactly.
you kind of made a comment, and I think that's leading into this next one is because we're almost done here. Is what advice would you give, like just in general? It could be for real estate or just life in general, but what would you give advice, or what do you want to leave us with here, like as far as like a life thing, or like this is what you should do, work hard. Some people are like, work hard, don't quit, right? Keep going, right? Well, like what would your advice be to somebody that would be getting into the real estate or just in life in general?
Be happy.
Hmm.
Seriously, be happy and also enjoy what you have.
Right.
and where you are right now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, things can always get better. Things can always improve. But
Right.
man, enjoy the simplicity of life. So one thing, that's one thing that also I learned while you travel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we want to have everything today, right now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the Western thinking of satisfaction is like we have
Instant
to have
gratification.
immediately and a
Right.
lot and the biggest and the largest and the most amazing it's like enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Let that will happen, but be happy for now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's my motto.
Right.
Enjoy the time. Well, right now there is, tomorrow is tomorrow.
Right. Right.
So
Be
happiness
happy you woke up that
and
day.
happiness,
Be happy that you
appreciation,
have food. Be happy
humbleness.
you have right. Right.
Yeah, man, and that also is going to impact your health.
Right.
Okay, your relationship with others, the people that
Mm-hmm.
surround you. When you
Right.
start,
Right.
when you keep on complaining, oh, things can be like that. Oh no, I don't. I
Yeah.
want that, and I don't want this, and
Right.
it's then keeps rolling, and then all of
And
a
then
sudden,
after all that, you're wondering why don't I have friends or why don't people like to talk with me?
yeah,
It's a ripple
dude,
effect.
because
You
you
can
can't,
either be a positive ripple effect or a negative one. There's still an
or
outcome,
neither
right?
one, exactly, or neither one. You don't need to, yeah, you don't need to complain,
Right.
and things just like it doesn't matter if you complain, it doesn't matter. You're right. Yeah, yeah, and people are
Yeah,
tend to
I
avoid
like
you.
with you, and I think it's contagious. I say attitude's contagious, right? Whether it's a
Yeah,
negative attitude or a bad attitude, and
uh-huh.
as long as
Yeah,
I've known you, you've always been that positive person, But we
yeah,
all have, there's always challenges in life, but I
sure.
think every time I've seen you or talk with you, you're always that outgoing positive person, and who knows, it's like sometimes I say you never know if somebody's having a bad day because we all have them, right?
Sure,
Don't
of
I'm
course.
not saying we
We're
don't, but
humans, yes.
but yeah, just to
But don't
project
dwell
that.
on it. So here's
Right,
the thing.
exactly.
Don't dwell
you
on it.
know
Okay. If it's, don't dwell and dwell. And also when you communicate, so think about this. And in fact, that's one of the agreements of the book that I told you about, the four
hmm
agreements.
hmm
So the first one, it says, be impeccable with your words.
hmm
Be impeccable with your words. See, when
hmm
you talk, when you speak, not only you make a sound so the other person can hear it, but also you are hearing listening
right.
to yourself.
hmm
So when you make emphasis or use words, for example, I don't want to go into a tangent, but have you heard of NLP, neuro linguistic programming?
no.
So neuro-linguistic programming is a science. It's part of a psychology, of the
hmm
psychology science. But it's
hmm
basically is when you say something, it's neuro-linguistic. So it triggers the brain. The words trigger the brain.
hmm
Basically, it's when you speak, when you say something, you can feel it.
right.
Dude, I feel amazing, man. I feel so sad. So when you
Right.
say that to yourself, somehow the word makes you actually feel that way.
Right. Right. Yeah,
That's
you're
what advertisement does. That's when you watch on TV. That's what they do in commercials. So
hmm
why are you gonna keep repeating stuff that is gonna make you low down?
right.
Or
Right.
make the people around you also down or sadder.
Right. Right.
So choosing the right words, and that's what's one of the agreements. Be
Right.
impeccable with your words. The words not only describe what is around you, but also feed. The words like food. It feeds your
Right.
mind and your
hmm
attitude. Stuff.
Right.
So be happy, people. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Enjoy it.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So Eddie, I'm gonna have Eddie's contact information in the description, and then the book that he suggested, and I'm sure you can send me any other books that you could think of or anything like that. But yeah, we'll have your contact information in the description, and then links
Cool.
to like any way to contact you if you have any questions about real estate or I met Eddie, I don't know how many years ago.
Man, about what? Probably maybe 10 years ago, 9 or
How
so.
many? Nine,
About
I think 9 years ago. And
yeah.
it's
We
always
were
been
neighbors.
wonderful. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Eddie's, like I said during this conversation, he's always been energetic and very positive, and that's what we need to surround ourselves with is people like Eddie. We need people like Eddie.
Oh no, oh no. No, but one thing that I wanted to add, though, if you
Yeah.
for real estate broker, if you need real estate services,
Hmm.
this is to me is very important.
Hmm.
An interview
Right.
at least 3 agents, not only
Hmm.
in real estate but in general. I mean,
Right.
interview people and before you hire them, go to see
Right.
how they act, how
Personality.
accessible they are,
Right.
their
Right.
personalities, their job ethics, what's their strength,
Right.
you know,
Right.
how accessible they are,
Yeah.
how you know everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
thanks, Eddie. I appreciate your
of
time,
course.
and
Yeah.
I look forward to other meetings in the future. And again, everybody, contact information for Eddie will be in the description. And have a good day. Thank you, Eddie.
You got it. Thanks, buddy. Take care. Bye bye.